Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Katrina. Today I'm going to be comparing Easyweed Vinyl to ThermoFlex. Which one is better? Is there a difference? Which one feels better? Which one is cheaper? So I'm going to answer all those questions for you today because I've been wondering myself. I have some family shirts that I have to do. I have about 7 t-shirts, all different sizes for a family for Disney World. So I'm excited to do these shirts. I've been doing these shirts for a while, but I've always used Easyweed. So I have been wondering, how does the ThermoFlex feel? So we're going to get all that covered and out the way, but go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because you know I'm bringing you everything behind the scenes of my business and sharing you all tips and tricks to help you with yours. So I'm your girl Katrina. Let's get started. Shirts that I have to do. I have, kids shirts, toddler shirts, big kids shirts, and I have the mom and dad. So some of them I'm going to do with Easyweed and some of them I'm going to do with ThermoFlex. The prices are pretty much the same if you're wondering. But I already used some of it, but I said, and it came out okay, so I said before I go any further or use the rest of it, I want to actually use it and do a comparison video for you guys. So this one I got from Heat Press Nation for $8. It was a 12 by 3 foot roll. And this one I got in bulk from Brilliant Vinyl. You can order this from there as well, but I always get my Easyweed from Brilliant Vinyl. Like my wallet cuff and different things like that, you can get from Heat Press Nation. So right out the gates, the difference is Easyweed is much thinner. Much thinner. This one is so much thicker. So here you can see this one is a little bit darker. This one is a lot thinner and, is a little bit lighter. Right up close, you can tell that right away. This is the back side, the carrier sheet. Sorry, it has little bends in it, but this is the carrier sheet for that. So this is just looking at it up close, but let's put it actually on the garment so that way you can tell. But it is much thicker, right? So you'll be able to tell the difference right away. No comparison if you didn't have your label on it. You will definitely be able to tell because it just feels a lot thicker than the Easyweed. So I'm cutting the ThermoFlex first. I'm gonna cut and weed that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the Siser Easyweed and I'm gonna compare them both up close. As you see, I still kept this on. If I'm not using this whole thing because you don't want your mat to get messed up. So I just pulled it back because I know I'm not gonna need that much. So that's a little trick that I learned as well. If I'm not using the whole, because this is a 12 by 24, so if I'm not using the whole thing, I'll keep this covering on it to protect it, and then just slide it right back up in place when I'm finished. So I'm just going to make sure I put this down on the mat carefully, because every time you put it down wrong, you have to pick it back up to reposition it. Glossy side down. Image always has to be flipped horizontally or mirrored. So now I'm just going to put this on, load this into the Cameo. I am using the Cameo 4 Plus, just if anyone wants to know. That's the machine that I use. So this is the ThermoFlex. I'm going to weed this back. I just want you all to know the ThermoFlex Plus, this is a matte finish. ThermoFlex Plus, this is a matte finish. This is a warm or cold peel. The Siser Easyweed is a hot or cold peel. I'm going to give you all the temperature settings once we go on over to the heat press. So this one does feel thicker to peel and weed back. A little stronger, if you will. And I know from weeding Siser all the time that it's much easier. I guess that's why it's called Easyweed. So this one does feel more like rubbery, I want to say, is that it's definitely stronger. And because the carrier sheet and the vinyl itself is thicker, Let's see if it applies thin, because you don't want thick vinyl on your garments. So that's the reason why I compare. So you see how I got that even line right here? So that way I'll be able to use this straight for the next time. And I'll just now cut that away. So when you have that box, you can create straight lines. Even though the Cameo 4 Plus has a line where you can cut off in the back, I hardly ever do it because sometimes it's so hard to see. So now this, I'm just gonna finish weeding this out, but I just want you to see the difference. That is the ThermoFlex. So now let's weed the Siser Easyweed. Some people say Caesar, some people say, I say both. I switch back and forth. Tomato, tomato. So this one weeds a little bit better. So now I was always using the Caesar matte, but this actual roll that I just purchased, I literally just had the matte, and I should have did the comparison video when I had the matte, because this is a matte finish, although it doesn't look it right now. But this is the regular Caesar. And you can definitely tell the difference when you're weeding the matte black versus the regular Caesar black. The matte black, I think, is a little bit tougher to weed, just because it's thinner, in my opinion. Or more stickier, I should say. For whatever the reason, the matte seems like it's so much stickier. So like if it fell back, man, listen, you gotta be real careful. But this one actually weeds much better. This is the Siser Easyweed. This is the ThermoFlex. So right off the gate, you can see this one appears to be darker. I did the girls in the Caesar, and I'm doing the boys in the ThermoFlex. So I'm just gonna speed this up and try to weed out the rest of it. So now the ThermoFlex compared to the Easyweed, listen, it feels rubbery. It's hard to grip certain parts. And when it comes to weeding out those letters and small parts, Easyweed wins hands down. It's just so much faster to grip. And when you're working and you're trying to weed out a large design or small intricate details, Easyweed is definitely better. ThermoFlex, Siser Easyweed. So I'm cutting more vinyl, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But I'm gonna start out with the ThermoFlex. I'm just preheating it. You need your heat press set at 330, but mine is set at 325 because I will be layering, so it doesn't really technically have to be at 330 because I'll be pressing more than once. And I'm just gonna place this in the center. Three fingers. I'm finding the crease to match up with the line. My crease is about right there. Place this down in the center and press this for about 10 seconds. Easyweed, you can press for about 5 seconds when you're layering. So I'm just, because it's a warm or cold peel, I'm gonna put this to the side. And I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling. And this is the next one for the ThermoFlex. 5 seconds preheat, pre-press to take the moisture out. These shirts are rabbit skins for kids. This is a toddler shirt. Even at the bottom. Okay. And again, if you want to use this to line up, to make sure, you see how that's even right underneath the armpits? That's how you know your design. Use certain locations to make sure your designs are straight. That's perfectly straight and lined up. It's medium to firm pressure for the ThermoFlex. Actually, that went to like 11 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this one back. Okay, so I'm gonna, ooh, that did not, That did not press at all. What happened? What happened? Okay. This is the first time I'm using this shirt with that. I'm gonna press that again. I'm gonna apply more pressure. And I'm actually gonna take it up because I don't know what just happened. To make sure. So we're gonna press that again. And I'm gonna do the full 15 seconds. That was really weird. So I'm gonna put that aside. Yeah, that did not come off. Pressing that. Okay, so we just press both of those again. Okay, so this is the Thermoflex after pressing it again. And for whatever the reason, it is not, this is really weird. It did not transfer at all. I don't know what's going on. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like nothing transferred. Let's test the other one. So it was coming off over here. All right, so I already know I won't be using Thermoflex again. But I pressed it before and I did not have this much trouble with Thermoflex. So I don't know why. Yeah, you see how the name is not coming off? Oh my God, I do not like, this is messing up my shirt. I'm scared. All right, we gotta press this again. We have to press that again. Okay, this came out, but I don't know what's going on with this. So I applied more pressure, turned up the knob. We're gonna see if we can get this to transfer. We're gonna press it again. Ah, more pressure. Okay. I'll do the same one to this one because this one definitely did not pick up anything at all. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna let it cool down just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and press the Siser Easyweed. So I gotta take I'm taking my temperature back down to 305 for Siser Easyweed. And here are my girl shirts. I'm just gonna go ahead and repress that. Too much pressure now, so I'm gonna loosen that up just a tad bit. Okay. That's pre-pressed. So the Siser Easyweed is a little bit more stickier, you know, to the garment. Let's make sure this is centered. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna take this and fold this back. I always bend it on the non-sticky side.
So I'm just going to repeat the same steps. I'm just doing it now with the Siser Easyweed, and I'm using my T-square ruler, which I love. It'll be linked down below in the description box. I'm only going to press this for about 6 to 7 seconds because I will be coming back doing a full press when I layer it. Look at this, Siser Easyweed. It just presses beautifully. No problems at all. Yes, I'm back to the Thermoflex again, and as you can see, it's literally only peeling the bottom. The bottom is only transferring, but I'm still having problems with the top part. So I'm trying to speed through as much as possible, but it is not weeding and it's getting on my nerves. So I'm gonna get it, but I really didn't realize I still was not applying enough pressure just yet. So you need firm pressure to the max to get this Thermoflex on. So I am pressing yet again this stubborn Thermoflex. I literally kept going back and forth. Remember, I'm doing 2 of the Thermoflex and I'm doing 2 of the Siser Easyweeds. So I'm going to cut a lot of this out because I don't want to bore you guys. But I finally figured out, let me put the padding underneath. Okay, this has cooled down. This is the Thermoflex and it is still not picking up. Everything is not transferring. This is really starting to piss me off because I do not know what is going on. Why it's not transferring. So I'm back with the Siser Easyweed because the other one was just really getting on my nerves. So I'm layering this. So simple, so fast, so easy to layer. This really needs to be a sublimation design because, you know, when you have like 7 shirts to do, it would be much easier to sublimate it. But because the white wouldn't show through, you know, it would just basically show the color of the shirt on those parts. So now I'm gonna do a full press at 15 seconds. When I was layering, I was only hitting it for like 5 seconds. That's the good thing about Siser or Siser. I want to shake the camera. So now this is the full design for the girl's shirt with Siser Easyweed. Let's go ahead and check out the Thermoflex. Okay, I have literally pressed this Thermoflex shirt probably 3 or 4 times. Let's see if it picks up. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's finally stuck down to the shirt after the umpteenth time. And still certain places is not. This is really crazy. Okay, so some areas still did not stick, and we're gonna get this. We have got to get this to stick. Like, it has to stick because I cannot mess up the shirt. So I'm gonna cut the carrier sheet off, but we got to get that to stick. I'm gonna go ahead and just layer the rest and see if hopefully that helps, because this is crazy. Is this the smaller one? This is the smaller one. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put that in place. So I'm putting this over the Thermoflex. I'm gonna pull this up again. I really need that to press. I really need that to press. And I'm going to layer this one inside. All right, let's press this one again. No problem with the Siser Easyweed. Let's see if this picked up now. This is still not transferring. The letters over here are not transferring. So I'm gonna put this to the side. Okay, so because I do not want to mess up the whole shirt, waste my vinyl, I have got to get the theirs to press. And it's like that on both of them. Everything pressed, but the theirs is not coming out. So I'm just putting a little pad underneath it. This light is annoying me. This is not a good day for pressing, clearly. All right, so I put the heat press back up to 330. You have it at firm pressure. I'm gonna get in front of it, mash it down.
Okay, so hopefully that presses. I'm gonna let that cool down. This is the other shirt. Pad is underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna let, this little spot is really getting on my nerves, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get that out. I don't know what happened because that wasn't there originally. So I'm gonna cool these down and try to peel these. Okay, so these are the shirts. I have to press the rest of these shirts, but this is, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. It finally pressed. So far, looks like it. Wow. So you definitely need firm pressure, and it needs to be even across the board. Okay, so that finally pressed after all the heartache. I've only pressed, that one came out good. I've only pressed Thermoflex once, one other time, and literally did not have this problem. So, you know, of course it was a bigger shirt, but you know, when you have uneven shirts like that, it needs to be, so that's why I said, let me put the pad underneath it. So it definitely needs to be firm pressure and even pressure throughout. So this is the Thermoflex. Now I'll get you one of the shirts that are done so I can wrap up the video, just because I gotta rock and roll and recording takes a lot. Since this one is completely done, let me make sure I have them both on camera. So now this is a next level shirt. This is a rabbit skin. So this shirt is a little bit whiter than that one, but this is the Thermoflex, you know, up close. The feel of it. So this is the Thermoflex without any of the layering on it first. So I am finally done. These shirts were a headache today. This is a lot of noise outside. This is the Thermoflex. Definitely love the way it feels once it's pressed. It feels like the matte Siser Easyweed. And this is the actual Siser Easyweed. This is the Siser Easyweed. So they're not the exact same shirts. Next time I'll probably do, you know, the exact same shirts. This is a next level kids shirt. And this is the Rabbit Skins toddler shirt. So this is a little bit brighter than this one. But let's see. This is the actual adult. These two whites are similar. This is the Bella Canvas. So you can kind of see here. But again, normally I always used to buy the matte Siser Easyweed. But this time when I ran out, I just went back to this one, the regular black. So, and because I have it red layered on here, I showed it beforehand, you can't really tell, so you have to look up here. This one is more shinier than this one. So the matte is almost identical to this one. The only difference is the process, where this is 305 degrees pressing for 15 seconds, hot or cold peel. This one is 330 degrees. This is 330 degrees temperature pressing at medium to firm pressure. I would say more on the firm side, because as you saw, when I had that medium pressure, it was not sticking. It needs to be, it says warm or cool, but after doing it a few times, I think it's best to let it cool down. And a trick, what I did was, and what I always do for like my cold weeds, for like holographic vinyl, I always rub it on a cool surface. That will cool it down so much faster. So this one was a little bit more tug and pull to weed, not as easy as the Easyweed. Easyweed, it just weeds like a charm. It just peels like a charm, and it's just so much easier to work with. So for the same price point, it's pretty much the same price. I mean, why go with Thermoflex? Seriously, you let me know in the comments down below what you think, which ones you like better. But from working with it only 2 times, yeah, and I think it only came in matte. I'm not sure if it comes in like the shiny, but I do like the matte black better, so I probably will go back to matte once I run out of this. I did buy a huge roll of this, but I normally always buy matte because it just looks more like a screen print, looks more in the shirt. This one you can feel it more. This is layered with the Siser, so you can't really see the matte underneath this. But to be honest, I really, for the headache and me trying to move fast, like this was 7 shirts that I had to do. So if I have 7 shirts and stuff, I don't have time to be going back and forth and taking my time and pressing. It was really time consuming. So Siser Easyweed gets my vote. In my opinion, it's just much easier, much faster to work with, and I'm used to it. So I will not be buying the Thermoflex probably anymore. I mean, it looks good. It looks fine. Again, this is a little bit heavier. If everything was all out, if I had no other options, then yes, I would go with this one. But it's just not worth it in my opinion. So, you know, you be the judge. I just want to do this quick comparison video for you guys so that way you can see and you can test. But, you know, it's better to, you know, you might have better results than me. I literally did have great results the very first time. You know, the peeling, it just, for whatever reason, each one did not stick. So you definitely have to check the pressure gauge on your heat press to make sure that you are applying firm pressure. Once I put that pillow underneath, then this came up. But putting my hand underneath it, oh, this feels really good. I mean, it literally does feel good. So this one feels good too, but this one is definitely, you know, it has that vintage feel. I like the way it feels better than the regular Easyweed. So again, I'll go back to my matte because my matte feels the same way. So just showing you a difference. This is that shinier, glossier finish, the regular Siser Easyweed, but this is the Thermoflex. So the Thermoflex, you know, and it does layer well with the Siser. So this is really a great vinyl. It's just, you know, working all the kinks out and making sure that, you know, all your settings are correct. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this was informative for you. If so, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day.